First quarter fueled by Wendy's. We are live at SEC Media Days. Pokester, Big Joe, hanging out here. B-Hop with the morning off. And we're joined now by, well, there's Big Brad right now, SEC Network President Justin Connolly. Hello, Justin. Welcome.
Good morning.
Now, you're not smart enough to graduate from Vanderbilt, so you just, went to that thing called Harvard. I mean, what?
I knew it would be a sore spot here. Yeah. But I did spend my freshman year in college at Vanderbilt, and I will still say it was probably one of the best 12 months of my life. Nashville's an incredible place. A lot of great people there. I love it.
But you stepped down academically and went to Harvard, right?
I did. I apologize.
Hey, can you get a job?
Not only that, he got an MBA from the Harvard Business School.
Is
Why are you here with us?
All
right, now we got breaking news. You just announced something 15 minutes ago upstairs, the launch date for the SEC Network, right?
That's correct, yeah. So we're going to launch the network on August 21st, 2014 at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central. That's when we're going to unveil the SEC Network.
That's a big thing, right? This SEC Network thing.
It's a little bit.
Yeah.
It's a little bit big. It's incredible. I think the fans, the schools, the alumni of the SEC deserve their own network. We're going to have plenty of content to put up there. Look, it's the premier conference in college sports, and this is a great opportunity.
How much did you study what the Big Ten did? And, obviously they shot it on out there and had a lot of mistakes along the way. How much did you study what they did and then sort of model some of the stuff or your own deal?
Sure. We look at all the conference networks. I mean,
right.
There's a lot of great stuff going on out there. I certainly believe that the Big Ten has done a really nice job. Pac-12's doing a nice job, and it helps us to be able to look at what they're doing and borrow some things and do some other things that are unique to the SEC. The good thing here is that we do have over a year before we launch, so we continue to build out the specific components of the network. But always good to have other examples that we can use. What's
the number one question you're asked about the SEC Network?
A lot of different questions, but it's less questions. It's more about, hey, I have an idea for a show. Or have you thought about this? Or what about that? Which I love because it really represents the passion that lives in the conference and lives at the schools. But the biggest one is, how do I get it?
Yeah.
And we're working on that. We're going to distribute it through cable, satellite, telco distributors. We have a deal with AT&T Uverse already. And we're in conversation with others. The best thing you can do now is go to getsecnetwork.com, register there, and we're working on distribution over the next 13 months here.
And it sounds great. I've got the webpage pulled up here. It says ESPN and the SEC have joined forces to create the SEC Network. Your all-access pass for the most powerful conference in college athletics, live events, studio shows, classic games, exclusive features. Get ready for the SEC coverage like never before. And I'll tell you right now, Justin, down the South with all this is monumental for all of us who love SEC sports.
Yeah, and let me go back to, we talked a little bit about other conference networks that are out there. The other thing we look at, and you guys know it well, is what the schools are doing today. I'll tell you, I'm blown away by some of the stuff that lives online that's done out of Vanderbilt specifically. When Coach Franklin awarded a scholarship to one of his players, when he had the walk-ons come and try out. I mean, that stuff is just great. And to be able to get that kind of access and put that up on screen, that's what we're aiming to do here.
SEC Network President Justin Connolly, I guess that was it. And my other question is content, right? Is there enough to fill 24 hours, 7 days a week?
Yeah, no question there's enough content. A couple of things we've focused on thus far, and we're still filling out the content plan, but we brought on Paul Feinbaum to ESPN. We're going to simulcast his show in the afternoon block. In addition to that, we're going to do triple-header football games every Saturday of the college football season. We're going to bring a 2-hour studio show on campus to each of the SEC schools across the first 2 years of the network. We've got volleyball, women's soccer, men's basketball, women's basketball, track and field, baseball, softball. I mean, I could go on and on and on.
Right.
We got plenty of content.
I'm just looking at your bio here. I mean, you got a business background, the sports background, everything. You like you're the perfect guy for this job.
I'll tell you, it's funny. There are a lot of things that I'm seeing and experiencing that are new to me, which are different. I did spend the vast majority of the past 10 years on the distribution side of the business, so negotiating with Comcast and DirecTV and Dish Network. And now I'm really kind of drinking through the fire hose here as it relates to the content elements and how we build out what this thing looks like on the television.
What year were you at Vanderbilt?
So I got there in 94. I would have been 98 had I stayed all 4 years.
Had you not dropped out and gone to Harvard. So.
Yeah, and I'm sure that was the year we were talking about just different things going on in 94. The old Nashville Banner, I was the beat writer for Vanderbilt at the time. And you're talking about your relationships, and we're going with the Maddox family, obviously Drew and Chris and Ray and Anita. Obviously, Ray played back in the 70s, and Anita, the Maddox family, your relationship with them, great people.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, and I mentioned it earlier, the time I spent in Nashville were some of the best days. And, you know, there are guys I've fallen out of touch with, but who were contributors on the athletic fields at Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Sanford Ware, who played football there, Chris Slade, and then Chris Maddox was a friend while I was there. You know, still have a lot of friends, and I love going back to Nashville.
You know, we talked about the Big Ten Network. You mentioned the Pac, whatever number they are right now, SEC Network. What Texas did as an individual school, it sort of splintered the Big 12 in a lot of ways. How much did you look at what Texas did with its relationship with ESPN?
Sure. So we look at that,
yeah.
And it's interesting. I think you know, it gets painted with different brushes. I actually think that if you look at the distribution of that network, you know, there are some successes along the way, and it continues to be a work in progress as it relates to the Longhorn Network and ESPN.
Yeah. Would you branch outside of SEC content and try to provide things that SEC fans are interested in? Certainly high school football. I know there's some NCAA issues with that, but would you even consider branching outside of the SEC network? I guess I'm asking the question twice, to bring content to SEC fans that they would be interested in.
Yeah, look, I think our goal really is to focus on the SEC. You know, we may on occasion, you know, take something that would be of interest to that fan base and put it on the network, but you know, our clear focus is let's serve the conference and let's serve the fan base that is so passionate about the SEC.
We're talking to Justin Connolly now. Your official title, there's one on the bio here, which is really, really intense. You're president of SEC Network, right?
That's actually that's the title you guys gave me this morning. And I
don't know. That's what we were told.
And I don't correct
hey,
people.
This guy runs the SEC Network. You want him on? That's what we.
Yeah. I'm actually the senior vice president of college networks at ESPN, or the senior vice president of programming. But
I like that. That's good. Is this your first media day?
It is.
And your thoughts? Because this is my third down here, and this year to last year is like night and day. I mean, just so many people. Yeah,
the spectacle of it is amazing. You know, I'm just floored in terms of the coaches walk from room to room, and they're surrounded by cameras and bright lights. They're literally walking from room to room, and it's impressive. And to see, you know, call it 1,200 people credentialed and in attendance, it just speaks to what this conference has to offer.
Yeah, and I'll just show you my age. My first one was in the 80s. But the coaches back then, there was maybe 30, 40, 50, you know, just the beat writers, a few TV guys. They would actually, after it was over, they'd, you know, take you out to dinner, hang out with you. You know, now, you know, you can't, you know, you're at arm's length. You're, you know, their bodyguards are protected by their bodyguards. But back in the day, you could go out with, you know, Dooley. You know, he would take everybody out to dinner.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mentioned this morning when you know, I made some remarks this morning in the main room that it's like Beatlemania here, you know.
Yeah.
And 4 coaches are going to come through today, and you can already see the fans lining up in the lobby. I mean, it's outrageous.
That's a great point. We said earlier when Johnny Manziel was here yesterday, at the same time I called him Mick Jagger. He said it was like the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly what it's like here, and it's so intense. Justin, thank you. We are looking forward to the launch date. August
I got
21st.
one more question, though.
Go ahead.
The craziest idea for, you know, you said you're getting all these ideas. Give me the craziest programming idea that's been put on your desk.
I'll tell you.
All right.
And again, I don't endorse this, but
Okay.
but I thought it was funny. Someone said late night with Les Miles and Steve Spurrier, which I just thought was, kind of a creative, cool idea. But anyway, keep the ideas coming. We love
Okay.
it.
I tweeted out the other day a cage match between all 14 SEC coaches who would win, and we took poll, and it came down to Saban. He would use mind control and win the cage match. You'll learn all this in due time, Justin.
Well, that's some good radio right there.
Thank you so much. The website again is getthesecnetwork.com. You pulled up, everything's right there. Register and go for it. Justin, thank you.
Hey, thanks so much, guys.
All right,
Appreciate it.
Vanderbilt wannabe, Justin Connolly with us this morning. The SEC. You're the president of the SEC Network. That's all we got. Hey, we're going to be back and wrap up our version of SEC Media Days. Of course, Sports Night will be here this afternoon. Hang out as we wrap it up from Hoover, Alabama.